All right, today I'm just excited to show you the Z-Man bang stick and how I Neko rigged this and my whole setup, everything that kind of comes together for this. So first off, I guess, what is the Z-Man bang stick? It's a soft plastic stick bait you can see right here. I got one out and being elastic, super stretchy. So this, you don't have to use an O-ring on. You don't have to put it on there like a typical bait there. You can just hook it right through the middle and skip this wherever you want. It's going to stay on there all day. So that's a really big plus. But we're going to do some modifications to get this thing all set up and ready to go. So first is we're going to use a hook that is a Hayabusa. It's a FPP straight 2.0 hook. It's got a good gauge wire. It's not super heavy that it's too hard to penetrate the fish's mouth, but it's got enough backbone that when you get a real big one on, you see this barely flexes at all. So that's really good. But this is a flipping hook. So you can see here, it's got this weed guard. So if you're flipping little baits, like this is perfect little setup right here. But when I'm dragging this through grass and that sort of thing, I actually want to get rid of this. So I'm gonna take a pair of scissors. These are those Cuda scissors, are really great. And I'm just gonna cut that thread right off, cut that little monofilament guard off, just like so. Takes a little bit of cutting because they got that on there really nice. And we will pick that off. There we go, came off. So now it's nice and clean. If you want to get crazy, you can actually, there's two little barbs on here. I'll sometimes even pinch those down if I'm fishing around. Usually grass doesn't matter so much. It's when you're fishing around like that real slimy algae, that sort of stuff. I'll take a pair of pliers and just pinch those two little barbs down there and you won't have any issues of catching anything else off the bottom. So now that we got our hook ready, we got our bait ready, we got to add the weight to it. So this is the Z-Man Neko shrooms. And what this does is it goes into the bait and let me pull these out real quick. It penetrates it and stays in the elastic really well. So a lot of your typical Neko nail weights aren't going to work with elastic. That bait being so stretchy also has some properties that tend to reject the nail weights. So this guy here, now that I got it out, you can see is got these two barbs on it. You got our actual lead. So this one here is I believe that was a 1/10 ounce. Is that correct? No, 1/15. So they have a 1/15, a 1/10, a 1/6, which is getting bigger. And then they also have a small one that's a 1/20th. So this is the one, the 1/15 and 1/10 are the two I use most commonly. But you can see it's got that pin on here. So it's just going to go right into your bait like so. And you're going to want this thing to go straight down in there. Make sure it's straight. If you put this in here, I'll show you real quick. So it's all wonky. And it was actually a pretty good one. For doing it first time there, it doesn't usually go that well. Let me show you this as here it is. You can see I got that thing, it's perfectly straight. So when this bait falls, it's going to fall weight down. So as that weight falls straight down there, if it's bent or crooked, it's going to like make it like kind of do a weird gliding thing. And most situations, I don't want that to happen. Sometimes you want it to, but and make it spiral. You'll get some line twist, but if you have some braid, you'll be okay with it. But yeah, it's pretty simple. You're just going to put it straight into your bait like so. Push. This thing, it will get a little bit tough on occasion. Being elastic, you got to really, usually I'll grab it right below there, push it real hard, squish it real flat up there, and then I'll release it and pull on it. And that'll tell you'll get your bait to be the straightest with that nail weight in there, that Neko shrooms. So now that we got the weight in there, we're going to hook this. So this one here, you can see the color. This one is called California Crawl. It's got that darker green pumpkin, blackish bottom or top. Then the bottom's got more of that green pumpkin, watermelon-y color. So it's lighter. So I want to put the hook through the light side so it falls down this direction and it just makes it more natural looking. Like if I pull it back towards me, typically a fish or whatever they're eating is going to be darker on the top, lighter on the bottom. So it's just how the prey tends to look, and it's a good way for them to hide. So if you think about it, like usually if they're looking up fish, they're going to see the bottom of a bait like a bait fish, like say a shad or something like that, it's gonna be real light and silver. It's because they're looking up and they see the sky, and they try to blend in that way. And then if something's looking down at the bottom, if a bait fish or crawl or whatever, they're darker on the top of them. It's just a way to camouflage, basically. But now we got this. Make sure where your line tie is here on your hook, you're on your eyelet. You want this to be angled up, so when you throw out there, it drops down, you set the hook, it's gonna get them right in the roof of the mouth every time. Really, really important. You don't wanna get that thing all wonky or crooked or anything like that. So that's the one setup. Something you do have to worry about when you're fishing this bait is sometimes you'll cast out there and you'll reel it up or whatever, and it'll actually double the hook back into it. So I've played with this a little bit trying to make it weedless. It kind of works, but I feel like your hookup ratio goes down a lot. So if you miss a fish, that's something when you reel up, before you make that next cast, make sure your hook point isn't buried back into your worm. Make sure you have that thing out, exposed, wacky rig just like that. Nail weight to the bottom, it's gonna go down and you're gonna be in good shape. What you wanna do is make a long cast with this, let it fall to the bottom, hit the bottom, and I would say probably 90% of your bites are gonna come on that initial cast because you're making that cast at, whether it's a grass patch, you're hitting a point, maybe there's a lay down over there, you're hitting the edge of that. What else could there be? A dock with a shadow line. So you're putting your bait where you want to get, where you think the highest percentage area is. So that's why you get bit most often on that. But after that, I'll throw it out there, let it hit the bottom, and I'll get a couple little twitches. And what this does is it actually pulse where it bends, and then it's gonna sink back down, just like so, onto the bottom. And I do want to show you this bait in action. I'll take you over to the little fish tank I got in here so you can see how it's moving, what it looks like, and some of the actions you can put into it. But that bang stick, it's a really good setup. This one, it's a 5.75 inch bait. It's comes with 6 of them in a pack, so good numbers. You're gonna go through, if you're getting a lot of bites, you might go through 2 or 3 of these in a day. It's really impressive how many fish you can catch on it. And again, last tech, that's the whole name of the game right there. That's pretty much, I think, all we got. So let's go over to the tank. We'll take a look at it one more time. Bang stick, Hayabusa FPP straight, 2.0 hook. We did that little modification. Neko shrooms, nail weight. Put that all together. It's a fish catcher machine. So let's head over. All right, we're in the tank. Bear with me. It's a little dirty in there compared to normal, but it's what we're working with. So you can see when that goes in there, that nail weight goes straight to the bottom. And then we have it with the hook. You can see that hook point, where that hook point, when I get my line tight, has that angle that's going up. So that's what's going to help us hook them right in the roof of the mouth. The bang stick itself, you can see right there, there's little legs and appendages they got going on it. So it gives it a little bit extra movement when you twitch this thing. So twitch, twitch, just like so. Makes that bait look real lively, and really the fish can't resist it. So this is a bait you're gonna wanna check out. I'm gonna throw it in again. So we talked about how 90% of the bites come on the initial fall. Let's see if we can get that lighting a little better. So it falls down just like so. And with your hook point being up off the bottom, you don't have to worry about getting as much of the gunk and grass and anything that's real short hooked into your bait. So it's gonna kind of work it along. You see when you just drag it, it's got a real nice natural movement. That legs on that bang stick, just they keep moving. That's all it really does. So you want to check this out. You can get them at fishingonline.com. They got a great Z-Man selection. They got the bang stick, the Neko shrooms, and they'll have some hooks that you can use too. If they don't have the Hayabusas in stock, you can get them other places. Hayabusafishing.com has them, all that. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions about this bait or setup, let me know. And one last thing that I didn't add, I should talk about line size. That I like to throw on 10-pound Seaguar Tatsu with some braid leader. I use Seaguar Smackdown. It's 10 or 15-pound braid. I use the flash green, and I like that because it's really got a lot of high visibility features, which is good because a lot of times these fish will pick this bait up and you'll never know they have a hold of it. They'll just start swimming off on it, and you reel up, and you'll see your line just kind of swimming off on you, and that's how you generate those strikes. So that's good. Medium heavy action lure. Ooh, we knocked somebody else into the water. We got a diesel minnow in there now. Yeah, medium heavy action rod, spinning rod. Favorite, I use the 721 hex from them most often, so check that all out. Sorry for leaving that out there until the very end, but thanks again for watching. Subscribe if you aren't already part of the channel, and we will talk to you again soon. See you later.